what do you want? A lot of times when you get asked that question, you think about it for a while, right? It's like, what do you want? What do you want to be? Man, I really don't know. It's like maybe this, maybe that, but I'm not so sure. But what if you ask the question in reverse? I watch a I listened to a podcast a few years ago and it really opened my eyes. I don't remember who it was, but to say, what if you ask the question in reverse? It's like, what do you mean ask the question in reverse? Like, instead of asking, like, what do you want? What don't you want? It's like, okay. You know what you don't want. You also know what you don't like, right? So if I ask you, do you want to be, I don't know, a chef? Do you want to be cooking food all day? It's like, I don't want that. Do you want to do this? I don't want that. Do you want to? I don't want that. So you start to ask the question in reverse, and it will help you find the answer a little faster, right? So, for example, me, I'm somebody, I like to work with my hands. Pause. For example, things like construction, things like building, like that's what I know about myself. I really enjoy that, right? One thing that I do that pisses me off is being online all the time, being on the computer all day. I really hate it. You know what I mean? Investing in them stocks and cryptos, making research. I really hate it, but I have to do it because it brings me money. But I don't like doing it. I like to work with my hands, right? I want to build things. That's me. That's one thing I know about myself, right? So a few months ago, I went and I started working in a restoration company. I didn't know I was gonna like it like that. I knew I was gonna like it because it's something that keeps me active, right? I get to move around, I get to work, right? But after the third month or the fourth month, whatever, I noticed a few things, right? It's like, man, like I'm really starting to enjoy this, like a whole lot. You know what I mean? And there's a few times where I was able to compare it with music. For those who don't know, I'm a music artist. I've been doing music for a little while now. But it's not just a passion. I do it. I really do it. There's some people when you ask them, it's like, oh, I do music, but I just do it once in a while. And like, no, I really do this, right? So it's not just like some hobby or whatever things now. Like I really do it, So there's a few times where I was able to compare with music, where I was when I was working, I was doing this different tasking with all that stuff, and there's a flood that happened. The bathroom was flooded, and there's a few affected areas. The drywall, had to come down and things like that. So I was in it, doing all the demolition work and cleaning up and do all that stuff, and I was really in it. I was enjoying it. It's like, man, I feel good. Always give me the same feeling like music. It's like, man, I really enjoy this, right? So I was like, man, if I was doing this my whole life, I would have saved 2 years of my time. I went to university because of pressure. After high school, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I just picked whatever thing because of pressure, right? You came from Africa, you don't want to disappoint your parents, so you got to go and get that degree and make the family proud. And even if you don't get a job in the thing that you studied for, at least you have the degree and it's some type of honor. Some people are, oh wow, you got a degree. Like, waste of time. I wasted 2 years. I dropped out. I was like, man, I'm not doing this no more. I'm just wasting my time here. I don't like this thing. I picked it because of pressure. Because back then, like I said, you grow, right? Back then, it just wasn't like that. Man, I don't like this. I need to get out of it. I'm still living with my parents. I don't want to disappoint them, but at the same time, it is what it is, man. It's like, I don't want to do this. My future is not in this thing. So I gotta go, right? So I started finding things that made me happy. Whether the family and the friends or whatever agree with it or not, I do not care. It's my life. I'm building my life. I'm not living for you, right? So that's when the big shift happened. I started doing whatever work I wanted to do. So yeah, I want to work with my hands. What type of work can you do? Okay, you can work in the renovation part, you can do construction, you can do this, you can do this, you can, I also want to be a personal trainer. But right now with the time, holy, it's too tough, right? Because I really enjoy working out. And I also want to help people achieve their goals by going to the gym and all that stuff. I really want to do that. But I'm so busy with the music, with the restoration business and all that stuff. Jeez, having time to train people too. My God, I'm not giving up on that. Don't get me wrong. It's just not gonna happen right now, right? Because if I have to do this, I have to give up something else, and I really enjoy this thing as well, right? It's like giving up music to train people. That's really tough, man. That's really tough. I'm really trying to build skills, right? It's not just about making money on crypto and stocks. Like, no, I'm really out there trying to build skills, things that will be helpful to me in my future, whether it's to serve myself or to serve the community. At least I have the skills, So I'm trying to learn that. That's the next thing. Because the way I approach the business is by working with some people who are already established. So I go there, I work, I learn the skills, and I leave and I start doing my own things because that's my mindset. I'm not the type of person who's going to work for a company my entire life. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. I'm not that type of person. My personality and my mindset, like, we don't go along with that. It's just not going to happen. I would tolerate it for a few months if I have to stay there and learn the skills, but that's about it. I will have to go and do my own things. That's me as a person, right? And there's nothing wrong with, I'm not saying this to put shame on people who work for companies. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying you have to know yourself. Like I said, knowing what you don't want. I don't want to do this. I know I don't want to do this, so that's what I have to do in order to not do this my whole life. Because that's the way it is, right? Trying to live a rich life. And what I mean by rich, I'm not talking about the Bugattis and the mansions and all that stuff. I'm talking about having amazing stories to tell. There's no way you can tell me about somebody who works like I'm not trying to put shame on you, but I'm saying this again out of honesty and all the respect, right? You're not going to tell me that you're the type of person who go to an office job 7 days a week or 5 days a week, come back and you do dishes and groceries and you take the kids to schools and you go on vacation once a year. And after 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, you're going to tell me that you have amazing stories to tell? It's super rare, you know what I mean? It's like a boring life. I don't want that. I want to experience a whole lot of things, And that's my life. Maybe somebody is cool with the office thing, whatever. That's them. If that's what they want, that's what they want. But for me, it's not. It's not it. I want to live like a rich life now, having amazing stories to tell. For example, I can talk about something, right? That happened in the restoration business, something that happened there, something happened there, and it's fun, right? It's fun stories to tell, but that is coming from knowing what I don't want, right? Asking the question in reverse. So I'm pretty sure if you sit down, you cut down all the distraction, cut down the Netflix, cut down like we talked about in the past video, the things that are keeping you broke, cut down all the distractions and be alone with yourself and reflect. You'll find out the things that you don't want, and by then it will make things a little bit more clear, right? It's like, oh, okay, I don't want this. I'm the type of person, this is my personality, this is who I am. I like to talk to people a lot, Maybe if I do sales, I'll be great in it. But you never know until you go and try it, right? Go ahead, go work for somebody or go start your own thing. Sell a few things, go, learn. Maybe you might be good at it. I know, for example, me, I'm not the type of person who's going to get a job and trying to sell cars to people. That's not that's not my personality. I can fake it, but it's not who I am, right? So I'm not going to do that. It's like, talking to when you go to like a shop or trying to buy a car, trying to buy furniture, whatever, you have this person greeting you with a big smile and trying to convince you to buy this, and that's not who I am. I have a few friends that are good at that. and they're not even in that business of selling. But if they ever start a business or if they ever work for a company, I'm pretty sure they will be successful at it, because it's a reflection of who they are. Literally, it's a reflection of who they are, right? So knowing a little bit about yourself, knowing what you want, what you don't want, can help you a whole lot. And you have certain individuals saying that they are lost. They don't know exactly what they want. Maybe they have like a regular job, nothing that they really want. They're just doing it just for money, right? They're living in a situation that they're not happy with, and yet they're not willing to do anything to change it. They just want to complain all the time. Man, nobody's gonna give you anything, The world is made for people who make shit happen, right? So if you just want to sit down and complain all the time, man, you won't get a single thing, right? So yeah, sit down and think about the things that you don't want. Ask the question in reverse. Instead of asking, man, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Ask the question in reverse. Maybe I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't like. I'm not saying it's going to come to you just right now, right away. It may take like a few days, whatever. But I'm pretty sure if you meditate on that, the answer will come 100%. If you seek, you shall find, always. So if I was in the other person's place, this is how I'll be living. Okay, I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't want. So every single time I'll be working, even doing the job that I don't want, I'll be thinking about a few things. Okay, what about this profession? Okay. So your mind is constantly running, searching for ideas, and little by little you'll find. But if you're always listening to music, if you're always watching the TV, always talking to people, always doing this, always being distracted, it will never come to you, because you are not alone with your own mind. So it will never come to you. The answer will never come. You have to be at peace with yourself, right? That's the first step, right? Be calm. Open yourself to ideas. Don't reject them, right? There's no shame in whatever profession. It's like, man, I know when I told people that I was in some people, not everybody, but there was a lot, people, when I told them that I was in the business of, when I was doing house restoration, it wasn't the same thing as, oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, wow, he wants to be a doctor. So, oh, he wants to do house restoration. Oh, cool. But I'm pretty sure if I told him that I was, in the business of, trying to be a doctor or trying to be whatever. So, wow, okay, I'm so proud of you, man. So, wow, this is good. So you got to be able to face that as well. Doing things that are good for you, not things that would make other people happy, because you are the one living that life. So if you go out there and trying to get a job, trying to become somebody because you're trying to please your parents or you're trying to please the people around you, you will not be successful. So it doesn't matter how much that job pays you. Why do you think there's some people, for example, who quit their jobs after 10 years of being really successful, being really good at it? But it wasn't who they are, though. They were only doing it to please other people. They were too afraid of trying their own things, right? It's like, I don't want to disappoint the family. I don't want to disappoint the people who I grew up with. It's like, let me just go ahead and get that degree and do whatever, because I don't want to disappoint them. So you go out there and lose yourself. Was it worth it? Right? You're too afraid to do what you really like. And deep down, you know that stuff. You know it. You know it's not you. But yeah, you're still out there doing what other people want you to do instead of doing what you really want to do. Right? So that's also one thing. Being able to face that reality. Knowing that some people won't be smiling, when you tell them that this is what you want to do. This is like, it doesn't matter. It's right for you. You know that's what you really want to do. Go ahead and do that. I know there's a lot of people right there didn't go to college, didn't go to university. They make a whole lot more money than people who got them degrees and shit. 100%. But that's the old mindset though. That's a very old mindset. It's like, to be successful, you really have to. The only way to become successful is going to university. But yet, most people who got the millions of dollars, a lot of them, it's not even from university and shit. You know what I mean? So who you want to listen to? The people who live in paycheck to paycheck, telling you how to live your life, or the people who actually got the money? People who actually living the life that they really want. It's not all about the money, but people who are actually living, a rich life, like I said before, right? People who design their own calendars. It's like, oh, this today, this is what I'm going to do. But for you, it's today, this is what I have. Like, I don't have a choice. If I don't do this, I will be fucked. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a choice but to do this, So who do you want to listen to? People who live paycheck to paycheck, middle class, whatever, trying to give you advice when they themselves are not happy with their lives? Or you want to listen to people who are living their dreams? You know what I mean? So there's no shame in whatever profession. It's like, so you don't know what you want, cut down all the distractions, ask the question in reverse, go ahead and experience a lot, read a few things, listen to the people who got the knowledge, right? Go out there and experience, not just for the money. Go out there. It's like, I will try this thing and see, try a couple of months and see, oh, I like this or I don't like this. Like, go ahead and try, You won't know until you try. If you keep doing the same things, you won't go nowhere, right? Go ahead and try. Ask the question in reverse, cut down the distraction, try new things, get some knowledge, go ahead and have experience, and the answer will come to you. You know what I mean? That's how you find it.
Nancy, my Nancy, gotta dance for